This week on Huntin' Full.
So to say this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is basically an understatement.
There's a ram.
I don't even know if words can describe how I felt when I walked up to the ram.
Join Paul Berman on a true adventure hunt as he and his family set sail on the Desolation Canyon for a once-in-a-lifetime Rocky Mountain sheep. "403 miles west of Denver, Colorado, lies a remote area on the Green River, known as Desolation Canyon. A relief of over 5,000 feet spans from river level to the unseen rim of the 𝗃𝗵𝗹𝗪 Plateau, and it plays home to some of the biggest trophy rams in the world. To hunt here, you have to be 100% prepared, especially if it is going to be a self-guided expedition. Being able to acquire the right knowledge to this remote wonder of the world can mean the difference between success and failure, even death. This is why Paul Berman utilizes membership through Huntin' Full and their extensive database to plan this once-in-a-lifetime hunt. He started his hunting career at the age of 12 after a family friend invited him to tag along on a deer hunt. Having grown into an experienced hunter and outfitter, he has maintained a long-standing relationship with Huntin' Full throughout his personal and professional career. In 1992, John was successful at harvesting a majestic Utah ram. Following that success, John began putting in for a Rocky Mountain sheep tag. And after 22 years, he finally received the call he had been waiting for. From that moment, John and his sons decided to utilize the vast and comprehensive resources available at Huntin' Full to plan out a self-guided hunt through some of the most desolate country the lower 48 has to offer. So join us on this self-guided journey down the isolated Green River as a father gets to go on the hunt of a lifetime with his 3 sons.
Hunting encompasses every part of your life. You plan, you research, you map out every last detail. And when your drive for hunting is everything you do, you then become a Huntin' Full.
Deep in the jagged terrain of Utah's Rocky Mountains lives a trophy animal that some people wait their whole lives to hunt. Paul Berman is one of those people after waiting for the coveted Rocky Mountain sheep tag for over 22 years. Through the use of Huntin' Full's membership database, Paul called many of the members who previously drew this tag. This particular feature of Huntin' Full was instrumental in allowing Paul to turn his dream hunt into a reality. Joined by his 3 sons, Luke, Lance, and Brett, and nephew Cole, Paul was more than ready to start his trip in search of his Rocky Mountain ram.
I harvested a desert bighorn in '92 in Utah. I've been putting in for Rocky Mountain sheep ever since. I always wanted to draw this tag, and I think there's a reason why I didn't draw it till now. My kids are older, so they could be with me and experience the hunt.
So it's the first day of my dad's sheep hunt, and he's been waiting a long time to have this opportunity. He's got all of his friends and family here, so we're way pumped to get out and try and find a big ram for him.
Paul and his family are traveling to Desolation Canyon, Utah. They are meeting up with adventure-bound river expeditions who will guide them on this unique hunting opportunity as they spot and hunt sheep while floating down the meandering Green River over the next several days.
I talked to a couple of agencies, companies that rent rafts, and they highly recommended that we hire somebody to take us downstream. Found several companies, rafting companies, that did rafting trips through Desolation Canyon, but none of them were willing to do a float trip in November because their season's basically over in September. So Tom with Adventure Bound, he was willing to take us downriver, and he furnished us with 3 great guides. That's kind of where the journey began.
I'm Shauna Wilson. I'm a lead guide for Adventure Bound River Expeditions out of Grand Junction, Colorado. I've been in contact with Paul for a couple months now, trying to arrange equipment and who's bringing what and what our responsibilities and et cetera are. And still having talked to Paul many times and being in contact back and forth, so I don't know what to expect from a certain group. While there was plenty of family bonding and building going on, our itineraries and logistics were completely different. It was a neat challenge.
Team Berman finishes loading gear onto the rafts while Paul and Shauna discuss the plan for heading downriver to search for potential campsites and hunting areas.
We want to camp somewhere right in here.
Okay, we're just gonna have to work together, you know. I'll
Right.
just have you with me and we'll see what we can scrounge up in there.
But I mean, you think it's doable to get down there today?
I think it's gonna be a long day, but yeah, we can do it.
Huh?
We're gonna lose. I want to be off the water by 5 at the latest.
Okay.
We'll just push. Huntin'
Fool is brought to you by Matthews Archery. Catch us if you can. 𝗚cie𝗶𝗆. If you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. Red Rock Precision, the ultimate long-range shooting solution. And Huntin' Fool, your complete hunting resource. This segment is brought to you by Auto Farm. Fun, simple, and transparent. Your personal guide to your next ride.
Showtime.
Well, I'm ecstatic for my old man. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not just for us, but for him, and it's gonna be an amazing hunt.
I'm excited for this hunt, be able to watch my uncle fulfill his dream and kill a Rocky Mountain sheep. He's waited a long time. I'm just excited to be here with him and share the moment.
Eager to find their first ram, the crew pushes off with hopes of making the campsite destination by nightfall. Paul cannot believe this trip is finally here, and with the whole river ahead of him, he takes the time to reflect back on all of the preparations he made with the help of Huntin' Fool. The whole crew is excited to see what the river has to reveal.
There's a ram.
All right.
Off to the left in the cliff. 3. See him?
Oh yeah, right there. Oh yeah.
2 of them. 2 of them, yep.
Yep. Straight below those. Yeah. There's probably another ram around there. Big boy in that group, isn't he?
That's a shooter sheep right there, Dad. I'd have to say.
He wants some action there. Look at him.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of excitement. You see a sheep that's a good ram, and you gotta make the best decision you can because there's no floating back up river to put a bullet in it.
Everyone was excited to see a ram of this quality shortly after leaving shore. But Paul's outfitter instincts kicked in, reminding him that taking a shot this soon could rob them of the incredible potential that Desolation Canyon has to offer. As the first day on the Green River came to a close, the expectations of Paul fulfilling his tag were that much closer. As the sun begins its descent behind the peaks of Desolation Canyon, spirits were high with the day starting off meeting expectations of great sheep sightings. As the crew landed their rafts for the evening, they set camp and turned in for the night, with hopes of greater sightings to come.
So it's day one. We're at camp. We're about 25 miles downstream from where we launched. We're actually in Desolation Canyon, which is one of the most isolated wilderness areas in the lower 48 states. We saw a few rams, quite a few rams coming into camp, and we're just jacked up to go out hunting.
Did you know that Huntin' Fool keeps a list of all members who have drawn tags over the years? This allows Huntin' Fool members to contact other Huntin' Fool members who have previously drawn their tag and get consultation from someone who's experienced that exact hunt firsthand. Go to www.huntinfool.com to find out more. This segment is brought to you by PhoneScope, the future of digiscoping.
Huntin' Fool member Paul Berman is on a hunt of a lifetime, and it's day 4 of his Rocky Mountain sheep hunt. Paul and his family are floating through a historic Desolation Canyon, Utah, to fill his tag that he waited 22 years to draw.
We're actually picking up camp. We're heading downriver. Too much competition up here. We're officially now in the whitewater section of the river where we need to wear life jackets. We custom fit our life jackets before we left 3 days ago. And now it's time to put them on. It's where the rubber meets the road.
Once the team made it through the rapids, they were met with slack water, which makes glassing a whole lot easier.
We're getting down to the final 15 miles of the river. We were hoping we'd have it done by now, where everybody's getting a little anxious. There's plenty of sheep down here. This is kind of the more higher density area of the unit, so see what happens.
All of a sudden, the crew spots something white on a cliffside.
Right up there at the very top, there's something white.
So we found a place to land the boats, and obviously the adrenaline and the intensity was extremely high. We knew there were some good rams there. Felt like we had a legitimate chance of getting close enough for a shot.
Where is that, Cole?
Go from the top straight over right, and you can see a white ass.
That's a sheep you want to kill, shoot it. It's an awesome sheep.
Well, he looks broomed on the other side.
I mean, the cool thing about that sheep, he's got his lamb tips. But his other side's about the same way.
I mean, that sheep, that's a nice sheep, it is. I mean, if I pull the trigger, I'm done. If I don't pull the trigger, hey, if I don't get another chance, I don't get another chance. But I can't shoot that sheep. Nobody else is down here hunting. We know there's sheep down here.
Paul has waited for a moment like this for a long time, but he's not going to pull the trigger on a ram he's not completely comfortable with. Whether or not his decision will pay off is a thought that weighed heavily on the guys as they got back on the water and continued downriver.
Not having any personal investment in this hunt, it was really easy to get sucked into the emotion. As the days progressed, the emotional investment and mental investments also progressed. I would feel we were all kind of stressed out. It kind of became a definite group effort on everybody's part.
Hey. Look at those guys right there. Yeah, hi guys. Hi ladies.
Then Luke spots a sheep downriver, way up on the cliffs.
There's a ram.
I don't see him.
Right on the edge.
Oh, I see him way down low. But let's try to make sure he's a good ram, right?
The crew quickly lands the rafts and works their way up the valley to put some glass on these sheep.
It's a good sheep.
There he is, Dad. He's just about right.
He's a shooter.
This segment is brought to you by 𝗙cie Extreme Mountain Hunting Gear.
Once we figured it was a ram that we wanted, we tried to set up. The hill was extremely steep, and it took quite a while to actually get in a position where I felt comfortable shooting at the range that we needed to shoot to harvest this ram.
The sheep were right there within range. Didn't know we were there. We had plenty of time to set up, get a good rest. It was extremely tense.
I can see the ram, but I just don't have a shot.
No, wait for him to stand up. Just remember to hold the gun loose. Squeeze. He's up. He's up. Right above him. Let him stop.
I had a ram that I wanted. I had all my family and friends with me. It was an extremely tough shot, and I was scared to death that I wasn't gonna be able to pull it off.
I cannot bend my neck to get a shot. I can't shoot from there, dude. Grab me bullets.
𝗪52.
I got a good shot.
Take it. You hit him. Shoot him again. He's still up. He's done. The one shot's in the liver area anyway. Fuck, way to go, Pop. Stress, like.
I don't even know if words can describe how I felt when I walked up to the ram. To have my three of my four sons with me, it was absolutely an amazing feeling. I just can't even describe the way that I felt. The excitement with everybody else too was just as good as mine. So I mean, we'd had a great trip so far, and we were really concerned about getting a ram. It was just like, oh my gosh, it was the best feeling in the world.
Extremely happy. Definitely exceeded my expectations. Special thanks to Red Rock Precision. They made a hell of a rifle for me. Weighed about 6 pounds. If it had been any heavier, I don't think I'd have made it up the hill. deadly accurate. The rest is history. Thanks to Huntin 𝗙, they helped us out. We really appreciate it. Their magazine's been an asset to all of us in the hunting industry, so thanks again.
I was ecstatic. It's a once-in-a-lifetime hunt, not just for him, but for us. I mean, we'll be very, very fortunate if we ever see another hunt like that again. We hunted our butts off. It was a great hunt all around.
So to say this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is basically an understatement. To be able to do this with family and friends in such a beautiful environment, have the support from my wife and just the people in my life that support me and allow me to do things that I enjoy doing, unbelievable. This has been an absolutely unbelievable, life-altering experience for me.
After a lifetime of dreaming about Rocky Mountain sheep, Paul has finally harvested a trophy he has always wanted. So it's easy to imagine the emotion that comes with a moment like that, especially when shared with your closest friends and family. With the help of the Huntin 𝗙, Paul was able to conduct an in-depth search by reaching out directly to previous unit tag holders, gaining priceless knowledge and ensuring him that this would turn into a hunt of a lifetime he will truly never forget.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Realtree's family of patterns. Family, friends, and the outdoors.
Cooking for the sheep hunter. Hopefully it doesn't poison him, or the cameraman for that matter.
We're scared to death of water, that's what I'm thinking. We're trying to figure out how we can do this without getting wet. We just got off the boat. Grandma, you're the best!